When King Von and YoungBoy had gone back and forth in the summer of 2020, it was hard to imagine that their rap beef would become something deadly. But the unfortunate truth of street life is that if you're constantly armed and around other groups who are armed, it's very easy for a small disagreement to escalate into a Wild West style shootout. It's hard to believe that Quando Rondo could have possibly wanted King Von dead when he was seemingly blindsided by Von punching him in the first place. Ultimately, Quando's friend Lil Tim was simply protecting his people's best interests when he fired on King Von. Perhaps it was an overreaction, but in the capacity of Quando's muscle, he's supposed to take action and protect Quando from danger. The unfortunate circumstances of that night created a situation that nobody wanted to be in, but it is what it is. And when Lil Tim pulled that trigger, this escalated things from an industry rap beef to an interstate gang war where blood had been shed. King Von was a beloved figure in Chicago drill, not just because of his hit songs about Chicago street life, but also for his reputation as a gangster in the streets, being associated with at least 7 murders, which he seemingly confesses to in numerous lyrics. Von was the baddest gangster in Chicago history, and he had just lost his life for something completely unrelated to his ops in the Chicago gang war. After the dust settled, all eyes were on Quando Rondo, as rap fans all over the world awaited his take on exactly what had happened. 2 weeks after Von's death, on the 20th of November 2020, Quando Rondo would cause a stir when he released the song End of Story, the title seemingly a reference to Von's Crazy Story series of storytelling songs, with End of Story being a disrespectful title, essentially flipping the name of the song Crazy Story, saying that they ended King Von's story. And the cover art was even a picture of Quando and Lil Tim taken on the set of the music video shoot that took place just before Von was killed. And in the song, Quando explains his side of the incident, expressing frustration about Tim being judged for opening fire, saying that other people's friends would have left him behind and not defended him like Tim did, rapping that if the shoe was on the other foot and it was Quando who got killed by one of Von's shooters, the fans would have probably been celebrating, with Quando rapping outright that his man Lil Tim did nothing wrong, and if your friends wouldn't do the same, you probably shouldn't have them around you. But Quando would go even further than just giving his side, dropping lyrics that seemed to be a direct sign of disrespect to Von and his entourage from O-Block, essentially dissing Von and his friends, saying, "Blood on your brother on the ground, go pick your mans up," and rapping that he and Tim are claiming self-defense and that Von should have never put his hands on Quando. Quando would claim that this situation has now led to $1 million bounty being put on his head, with Quando taunting his ops from Chicago, saying, "That all you got? Why not make it 8 million?" More than just a bounty on his head, reportedly Lil Durk was taking steps behind the scenes to harm the careers of both Quando Rondo and YoungBoy following this incident. Rumours would circulate that Durk had been buying all the tickets to Quando shows amid a spate of concert cancellations. Durk would even rap in his song Hellcats and Trackhawks, which was circulating in late November, that they're looking for somebody at their shows, as well as a line towards Quando or YoungBoy saying that they're not feeling your favourite rapper. Clearly, Durk was devastated by the loss of Von and placed the blame squarely on Quando Rondo and YoungBoy. Moving forward, Durk would make grand gestures towards Von, using his career to memorialise his fallen friend. A few months after Von's passing, Durk would release his new album, The Voice, which he would dedicate to his fallen twin, Von, with a picture of them together on the cover. But next, Durk would do something that was aimed directly at YoungBoy. In his January 2nd, 2021 music video for the hit song Back in Blood with Pooh Shiesty, he would call in a cameo from none other than YoungBoy's biggest surviving enemy from the Baton Rouge gang wars, TBG rapper Fredo Bang. And then, 2 weeks later, on January 15th, 2021, Fredo Bang would release a new song and music video of his own. This was a remix of a song called Top. This was an interesting title for YoungBoy's biggest surviving op to make, considering YoungBoy's nickname is Top. The official remix of the track Top would feature YoungBoy's newest op, Lil Durk, with lyrics where Durk rapped about how he felt when his cousin Nooski died. But not only that, but the music video for the Top remix was damn near a summit for YoungBoy and Quando's ops. NLE Chopper made a cameo in the music video, and if you didn't know, NLE Chopper is a bitter enemy of Quando Rondo ever since they had a clash backstage, with Quando smashing a bottle over one of NLE Chopper's friends' heads. The music video also featured a close-up shot showing one of Durk's OTF chains and a YNW chain belonging to Florida rapper YNW Melly. This was actually a reference to yet another ongoing feud between Melly's YNW crew and YoungBoy and Quando, dating all the way back to summer 2018, with a member of Melly's crew, YNW Sack Chaser, hopping on IG Live to tell the story of an altercation between the YNW crew, YoungBoy and Quando Rondo, where apparently these two crews would get into a huge brawl at the Atlantic Records offices.
We put up at Atlantic. YoungBoy already outside looking like this. So like, maybe like, they go YoungBoy. I said, oh, yeah, we might not have to fade, didn't he? So I asked straight. Me and Drew, we were like, straight. And he was like, yo, I'm straight. Yo, I'm straight. Young boy, like, he talking to the Eli dude. He like, bro, all that, man, I'm finna just pop off. So then he popped off. He hit Melly, boom. But it's some weak, like, you would think strong, but his body, like, dead. He hit him, boom. So, like, Melly, when he hit him, Melly hit him 2 times, boom, boom. And that's when I popped off on him. Popped off on young boy. And then his came after me. And they started boom, 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 boom. Melly hit on the ground. He fell on the ground because they had, like, bulldozers. So then they had ran, like, the dude broke it up. They ran out the room. Then they came back in that. Quando Rondo came in that time. Yeah, started jumping me. Boom, 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 boom. Caught Quando Rondo ass in the forehead. Boom. He caught my ass back in the forehead. Jumped up in the sky. Jumped on my chest. Ran out. I always running, though. Everybody always running from my ass. They ran out. So then young boy tried to jump. Come hit my ass, too, with Melly caught his ass. Boom. Hit his ass and boom. It was over with. And they just left.
It would seem that following this fight, both Melly and Von would become close friends, perhaps through a shared dislike of YoungBoy. Ultimately, they became close before Von passed, sharing the stage and studio sessions together, as well as collaborating on songs like Rollin'. Melly was seemingly a common connection between YoungBoy's enemies, as Melly had collaborated with Fredo Bang 2, with them appearing together in studio sessions teasing collaborations in late 2018, and they would end up releasing numerous songs together, like the song Ingredients on Melly's We All Shine project and Fredo's single Brazy. In fact, when YNW Melly ended up getting charged with the double murder of 2 of his friends, prosecutors had apparently suggested that Fredo Bang might have been the person who Melly called to come and get him after the murders took place. So, YoungBoy and Quando's enemies in both the music industry and in the streets of Baton Rouge and Chicago were all linking up and uniting against them. It would truly be YoungBoy and Quando against the world at this point, but they wouldn't take all of the heat without sending a few shots back. On February the 12th, 2021, Quando Rondo releases the music video for his song Soul Reaper, and in this video, Quando uses an actor with dyed blonde dreads like Von's friend Lil Durk, seemingly depicting this Lil Durk lookalike getting kidnapped and shot, and the song itself had lyrics seemingly referencing Von, with Quando rapping that someone ran up on me, then we sprayed him, I'm talking lights out. Quando referenced the fight taking place before the killing of Von, saying that it doesn't matter who got beaten up, it's about who got killed. Eventually, Quando Rondo would open up more seriously about his involvement in the situation that claimed Von's life when he appeared in an extended interview with Angela Yee on April the 12th, 2021, where he opened up all about the incident, saying that he had no idea why Von punched him and that he didn't even know that it was Von until the next day.
Like, I'm thinking it's some regular individual. Next thing you know, it hit me. So I looked at it like, all right, babe, I ain't mad at nothing about it, but I guess this is how I go. Like, I looked at it, I'm like, this the big bro. In my mind, I'm just thinking regular and reality.
Quando would also say that he didn't even know there was a beef between YoungBoy's camp and Von's crew.
Cause I know dude just dropped the tape. Like, was they trying to do something to me? Like, just boost him up or like, what? I don't know.
You just don't know where it came from. You have no idea.
Despite Quando's attempts at calming things down with this interview, seemingly there was no stopping the consequences. And in the coming months, Quando and his team would be a frequent target of what appeared to be revenge attacks. He would be targeted in a shooting after a show at a gas station convenience store in Georgia on the 2nd of May 2021, luckily escaping without injury. And Quando wouldn't be discouraged by this attempt on his life either, and he would continue to push his career forward. On May the 7th, 2021, Quando released his 6th mixtape, Still Taking Risks, his first full-length release since the killing of King Von, a project laced with disrespectful references to the incident where Von died. And Lil Tim, Quando's homie who shot Von, would end up releasing a disrespectful diss song and music video of his own titled Off the List, where Lil Tim would rap boastfully about having just checked someone off the list and upped the score by gunning someone down. And YoungBoy's crew were throwing their full support behind Quando and Tim too, with NBA Ben 10 calling for Tim's freedom at the end of 2021, with a social media post showing that Ben has Tim saved in his phone as Von Killer. However, the pressure was piling up for Durk to do something in retaliation for Von's death. Since Von lost his life, the internet was awash with people commenting, "Slide for Von," a common comment by internet trolls looking to goad Durk into getting revenge on Quando and YoungBoy for what happened to Von. Unsurprisingly, all of this talk of sliding for Von was clearly getting to the very man that everybody was asking to slide, Lil Durk. So it would seem that Durk, unable to keep his beef in the streets, felt compelled to rap about the situation on songs. On October the 8th, 2021, Lil Durk raps on the Who Want Smoke remix, saying that people keep trolling him saying slide for Von, but he's already got back, people just don't know it. As well as rapping that people die pumping gas, a possible reference to the shooting of Quando at a gas station earlier in the year. It seemed that Durk was trying to quash the slide for Von trend by hinting to the world that he had in fact already slid and tried to have Quando killed. That track was followed a week later by Durk's new song Pissed Me Off, where he raps that since he lost Von, he can't be happy until they even the score, and rapping, perhaps self-referentially, that if you're not a shooter, you should put up money for the guns, stolen cars, and the bail. On the 1-year anniversary of King Von's death, Quando Rondo tweets that I never forgave you for what you did, and that hurt me to this day. Perhaps he's still talking about Von sucker punching him. Or perhaps he's talking about Lil Durk and the campaign behind the scenes to avenge Von, even though Von was the aggressor. After all, King Von's real beef was with Quando's label mate YoungBoy, and YoungBoy himself wouldn't have kind words for Von either. After this tweet, YoungBoy would reference Von's death publicly on audio-based social media app Clubhouse, telling DJ Academics that this is what happens when someone comes in the industry trying to be the tough guy, and that Von acted on his feelings and now he can't feel anymore.
Man, we see how this turned out we see how this turned out with certain come inside the rap game and feel like, oh, I'm the one who they got to get into it with for the reach this certain point of what. Man, boy, you can stink like your ass a gangster, boy. Ain't gonna show you something, boy. We done seen this. We done seen this. Wanna be a gangster too bad. Be a killer too bad, man. You better calm your stupid ass down, for you can't have no type of emotion no more, boy.
Yeah. Man,
you know, man. You know how this.
Later in December, the beef between Lil Durk's OTF Collective and Quando Rondo and NBA YoungBoy's camp would continue to play out on Clubhouse. At the end of the month, OTF affiliate Mimo600 ends up in Clubhouse with Lil Tim and NBA YoungBoy, where YoungBoy says that he's going to keep it friendly with Mimo, and then he plays Lil Tim's song, All About Killing Von, and asks why he's not being friendly anymore.
Well, they doing no jokes and none of that. We cool with that.
Yes, a lot of.
Believe that, yeah, man. They keep that
Melly was on here.
That my homeboy talk about.
Yeah, that's my little homeboy. We gonna keep that thing gangsta and cordial while we on here. Almost there. Such a dude. Off the list.
You don't want that smoke, you know what happened in Atlanta. You know what happened last time I saw you.
Say little Mimo. What you on, bro? Mimo.
Just check a new off the list.
Off the list.
Man, bro, I guess don't me.
Damn, bro, I thought we was cool. Man, I thought we was cool. For me, I thought we were keeping this thing closed, and man, don't want to run it, man. Make the bro happy, man. He don't want to talk this.
Clearly, YoungBoy wasn't over his beef with Von, and things were about to go to a whole new level of public disrespect. And moving into 2022, on January the 12th, YoungBoy drops a song referencing the killing of Von, rapping on the track Bring the Hook that he's smoking that O-Block pack and that Von got folded up in Atlanta after saying he was going to kill YoungBoy, with YoungBoy even comparing Von's death to something from the show Squid Game, which if you think about it is kind of a deep bar, because in many ways, the drill music game is as dangerous and deadly as the Squid Games for Von and YoungBoy. YoungBoy also dropped a line about a body being stitched back up, seemingly a reference to leaked images from King Von's autopsy. And also another disrespectful line where he says that Von must have seen a gremlin the way his body shook, and comparing hunting ops to fishing, and ending the track saying, "You know I pull off plenty killings." Durk would respond to the song with a social media post the same day, saying, "Don't claim it if you didn't do it," and calling YoungBoy a bitch while sitting next to a picture of Von. King Von's sister Kayla B would then chime in, repeating that statement on her Twitter, and the following day mocking YoungBoy for acting like he's a demon whilst he's on house arrest, telling him to get in these streets. A day later, a number of people would be seen in O-Block filming a music video and burning green bandanas, a sign of disrespect to YoungBoy's 4K Trey crew, who are known to wear green bandanas. Also getting involved was fellow Chicago Black disciple Lil Reese, who had previously threatened to beat up Quando Rondo the very same day that Von was seen hanging out with Jania, with Reese responding to a post by DJ Academics saying that YoungBoy was on demon time in his new song. Reese clapped back saying that YoungBoy was not on demon time and that he's just rapping like the rest of these rappers rap. This was something that NLE Chopper also chimed in to agree with NLE Chopper involving himself firmly in this beef pretty much out of nowhere, probably due to his existing hatred of Quando Rondo after their backstage brawl and due to his close personal friendship with King Von. NLE Chopper actually did an interview a couple days later where he said outright he agrees with Reese and he felt that YoungBoy had nothing to do with Von's death, so it was wrong to rap about it, even going as far as to say that Von was trying to put the gun down and fight and that Lil Tim shooting him was a snake move. move.
Pretty much I was just agreeing with what Reese said, because at the end of the day, like I said, it's certain things that nobody's right or nobody's wrong, in my opinion. But, you know what I'm saying, I know what's right with me, and I don't know like who I stand with and who I support. Like, and when you speak on certain situations that you really don't have nothing to do with, or you wasn't in that position, and somebody lost their life because, you know what I'm saying, somebody was trying to put a gun down and have a square, you know what I'm saying, a simple fight, and you glorify certain things that was a snake move. At the end of the day, wasn't wrong or right, because you're protecting your brand at the end of the day. But still, it's just certain things you don't glorify if you wasn't there, if you wasn't in the space, and if you ain't do something, you know. So it's just certain things you respect at the end of the day. NBA YoungBoy's a fantastic artist. Once a period of time, he was my favorite artist, you know what I'm saying?
2 days after that, a YoungBoy fan claimed to have beaten up NLE Chopper at the airport on behalf of 4K Trey.
Hey yo, yeah, I just knocked out NLE Chopper. He's a oh, 4K we in this.
NLE Chopper in the airport, y'all.
What's what I say? You scared at me, and then I popped him and knocked him out.
He just beat up NLE Chopper, the rapper. About 9-8, big NBA, big 4K Trey over here, y'all feel me? He just knocked out a rapper. Hold on, y'all, I'm about to post the video.
It's scary. Yeah, are you NLE? I asked you mad times. What? Stop playing with me. Yeah.
Amid all of this controversy, NLE Chopper would continue to discuss his friendship with King Von publicly, even claiming in a Breakfast Club interview that Von would supply him with firearms when he visited Atlanta, and that he's siding with Von in the beef due to their friendship.
I made certain comments because my brother Von, that's what I made a comment on, defending his name, because he's not able to defend his name. When Von was on house arrest, I was going to his house. When I used to come down, he'll make sure I had scraps on me. He'll make sure I was protected. Like,
with the hip-hop scene buzzing with chatter about the latest diss in this deadly feud, the next day, on the 18th of January 2022, YoungBoy comes out with another song referencing the beef, his song Know Like I Know. The track references Von's sister saying that she was Big 4L on Twitter the day YoungBoy dropped the song Bring the Hook. She was actually referring to a 21 Savage lyric from the song Glock in My Lap, directing that to YoungBoy to call him a and claimed that she was a member of the same gang as Von. A complicated reference, as YoungBoy seemingly in the past had a good relationship with 21 Savage. 21 Savage appeared on one of his first industry remixes on the track Murder all the way back in 2016, but after Von died, 21 would seemingly choose Durk's side in this beef, with the YoungBoy later rapping that 21 Savage is the person that jumped him into the Blood Gang, and that's the reason why he got a 4L tattoo on his neck. But after the beef with Von, YoungBoy says that he called 21 for support, and that 21 turned down the call and denied knowing who he was. But back to the song Know Like I Know. Other than the line about 21 Savage and Kayla B at the start, the majority of the opening bars on the track were actually aimed at NLE Chopper, with YoungBoy saying that he will kill him for picking sides with Lil Reese on Twitter, telling him he's a real demon, saying directly that he saw Chopper's interview in bed and thought to himself, he doesn't even know Chopper, but Chopper wants to see him dead, as well as lines that could be aimed at NLE Chopper or Durk, rapping that you can get killed like your friend and that they're not ready to see brains lying around the club, with me leaning towards thinking that this lyric is actually aimed at Lil Durk due to YoungBoy rapping that he plays for keeps, a reference to the famous Chicago drill song Play for Keeps by friends of Lil Durk, LA Capone, and Rondo No. 9. A day later, on January the 19th, 2022, YoungBoy posts a picture on Instagram saying that his ops are going to die, along with another picture telling them to stay safe. Seemingly this was a reference to earlier alleged leaked DMs between Durk and Quando, where Quando had seemingly tried to squash the beef, with Durk telling him, stay safe. This might be an indication that despite Quando denying the authenticity of these DMs, they very well may have been real. Lil Durk would seemingly respond to YoungBoy's picture with a picture of his own using money to spell out, hurry y'all bitch ass up. Seemingly not discouraged by Durk returning fire on social media, YoungBoy would continue dropping disrespectful murder anthems, inflaming the beef with Durk's OTF crew and Von's friends from O Block even further. On January the 21st, 2022, YoungBoy drops the song No Switch, with the title being a reference to Lil Durk's frequent mentions of switches in his songs. On the song itself, YoungBoy references Von's death, saying, pallbearers bring your body to the grave because his shooters don't miss. Following that lineup, saying that it's on Dave, a possible joke on King Von, who used to always say on King David. That's a common line used by Black Disciple gang members, where they're essentially swearing on the life of the founder of the Black Disciples gang, King David Barksdale, as well as the fact that of course YoungBoy lost his close friend Lil Dave when he was a child. YoungBoy goes on to rap, "You don't want to see Lil Tim jump out that truck," another reference to the sequence of events that saw King Von losing his life at the hands of Lil Tim's gun. And YoungBoy ends the song with an outro where he claims outright that his team are rapper slayers. A bold statement when you consider the fact that in addition to King Von, Quando Rondo's gang were rumoured to have had something to do with the murder of a rival Savannah rapper called Huncho Reese. And on top of that, NBA YoungBoy's crew have been famously connected to the murder of up-and-coming Baton Rouge rap rivals G Money and Boulevard Quick. So when he says they're rapper slayers, they really mean it. The day YoungBoy released No Switch was the same day Lil Tim seemingly returned to Twitter with a new account and a kiss-blowing emoji. Clearly, the beef was heating up, and Lil Durk would be quick to respond. He would feature as a verse on the January 25th, 2022 Gucci Mane song, Rumors, where Durk would rap that he's paying for specific people to be shot, and that he's following people when they're in Atlanta. And, seemingly referencing Lil Tim being shot, saying they shot someone's homie for trolling him, and that they were surprised he survived. Durk goes on to rap that he's not even checking his ops pages to see if anyone died after sending these hits, as well as rapping that he is planning to use women to get his ops set up and killed, ending his verse saying that he won't tell people who shot their friend, and pondering why his ops don't call him and choose instead to post on Instagram, as well as seemingly dissing NBA YoungBoy for his earlier back and forths where he spelled words out with money, saying that he's lucky that he doesn't do this stuff for Instagram. Then, the following month, fans would hear yet another response from Lil Durk. On February the 22nd, Lil Durk drops his new song, Aha. Durk would rap saying that people tell him not to respond to people disrespecting Von, but he claps back saying that he wants his people to pick up their guns and shoot when people diss Von. He would rap that he's giving people locations and getting it done, seemingly a reference to the shootings targeting Quando Rondo as retaliation for Von's death. Durk is literally saying in his songs that he is actively sliding for Von and attracting the attention of the cops. Durk would even go on to rap a line that seemed to suggest that Von was sleeping with YoungBoy's women, Jania, and that Quando and his crew are YoungBoy's subordinates. Durk then says that his shooters have been sliding through their blocks and that the ops don't know it, and saying that someone got shot but they didn't claim it, but he can prove it. Perhaps a reference once again to that gas station shooting targeting Quando. Durk would say that Quando and YoungBoy have only been acting tough since Von died, and inferring that YoungBoy snitched to get out of his legal problems. And Durk would also rap that despite people thinking he's soft because he sings, he's the one who gets people shot, seemingly another reference to that May shooting of Quando's team. Durk would also confirm that he was indeed talking about his ops on the earlier diss song Pissed Me Off, inviting them to slide and get revenge if they don't like it, before saying that he's been killing people to feel better rather than going to therapy. Durk ends the track with one final lyric suggesting that he had had somebody's friend set them up and give them the location of one of the people he's been targeting. This was a bold and frankly incriminating song when you know the truth behind it, but YoungBoy didn't waste any time, responding the very same day with a diss track of his own targeting Lil Durk. The track I Hate YoungBoy. And on this song, YoungBoy had lyrics about Durk's cousin being killed and nothing being done about it. He would also rap that there's a clean up on aisle O, essentially mocking King Von from O Block's death, and rapping straight after this that his brother let the stick blow, so it's his smoke, essentially claiming responsibility for the killing of Von by association. YoungBoy also claimed that he was listening to Wooski, one of King Von's biggest enemies from Chicago, as well as going on to say that he no longer likes Gucci Mane since he collaborated with Durk on the song Rumors. He would drop bars suggesting that Lil Durk is only dissing him so hard because he's on house arrest and he can't retaliate in the streets. Following that up, rapping outright, I'll kill you. YoungBoy would also go on to mention the mother of his child, Jania, who Von had apparently slept with, saying that she's richer than anyone in Durk's team. He would even claim to be trying to kill and set up literally anyone who ever did a song with Durk, even dissing Lil Baby, who had recently done a collaborative album with Lil Durk, Voice of the Heroes. YoungBoy would call Durk a pussy and claim that Durk was only dissing him because he's mad about Von getting killed. He would even diss Lil Durk's father, referencing Big Durk, who spent time in federal prison, saying he's a bitch and telling him to comfort Durk's grieving auntie, a reference to the death of Durk's cousin Nooski. YoungBoy would also diss King Von's sister Kayla B, once again for claiming she was 4L, and YoungBoy would even call out fans and YouTubers for hating on Tim and Quando Rondo and acting like they were wrong for killing Von, with a bar telling YouTube streamers not to react to him no more, seemingly pointing the finger at the king of Twitch streaming Kai Cenat, who had actually been seen with Lil Durk that very same day. There were also lyrics mentioning Apple Music, where YoungBoy says F them because they promote Lil Durk but blackball him and Quando. According to academics, after Von got killed, Apple Music decided not to push YoungBoy anymore out of respect to Lil Durk.
The whole Quando Rondo and whatever, they stopped playlisting anything that was NBA associated. And the reasoning that was given was literally this. This is why he dissed Apple Music on I Hate YoungBoy. The reason was given was, we don't want to upset the other side. That's factual.
The fact that these two major artists had gone back and forth on each other so savagely, all in the same day, was huge news in the rap world, and the beef didn't even stop at songs. After releasing Aha, Durk posted to Instagram that he got 2 million views in 15 hours, taunting his rivals and saying these were real numbers. But when YoungBoy unexpectedly clapped back with a response the same day, his I Hate YoungBoy track went crazy on the numbers, surpassing Durk's debut. And Quando Rondo would take to IG to gloat towards Lil Durk's earlier post, referencing the success of YoungBoy's new song over Durk's release, posting YoungBoy's video with 2.2 million views in 5 hours and saying, nah, those are some real numbers. The song I Hate YoungBoy led to a huge fallout, and it wasn't just Lil Durk who was mad. After catching a stray in the diss song, Atlanta rapper Gucci Mane would also throw his hat into the ring, dropping his own diss track aimed towards YoungBoy on March the 4th, 2022, a track titled Publicity Stunt, which essentially accused YoungBoy of dissing him as a publicity stunt, and even threatening to kill YoungBoy for dissing him, with Gucci Mane actually ending the song disavowing YoungBoy's earlier lyrics that shouted him out in his hit song Make No Sense, with Gucci rapping, I thought you felt like me in 2006. The beef with Lil Durk was now spreading throughout the industry, and an entire united front of artists who were friends with Durk and Von were getting together to blacklist YoungBoy from the music industry. But it wasn't all their fault, as despite having a successful 2020, dropping back-to-back #1 albums, YoungBoy was still getting himself in trouble in the streets, and his record label, as well as the music industry at large, were beginning to get tired of his antics. And unfortunately for YoungBoy, in the midst of this enormous interstate beef with King Von and Lil Durk, he would wind up getting himself in a whole lot of trouble for another reason, catching numerous serious criminal charges relating to firearms, ultimately winding up losing his freedom when he needed it the most, and truly testing the patience of his industry backers to their limits. If you found that clip interesting, please hit the like and subscribe button. And if you want to watch the full-length version of this video, check out the documentary on my main channel, Trap Law Ross. And if you want the uncut version of that documentary with 30 minutes of footage I cannot show you on YouTube, then head on over to patreon.com/traplawross, where you can watch all of my best videos completely uncut for just $2. And if you want to keep in touch and get updates on the next documentaries that I'm going to be dropping, make sure you follow me on Instagram @traplawross. Appreciate it. Peace.